This week on KMS News, Teacher of the Year interview with Ms. Shantz, tricks with Statler, update from the baking contest, Mr. U's students create primary documents, the riddle challenge, shelter in reading, and finally, some student creativity. Welcome to another edition of This Week at Korematsu.
So, how did you feel about getting the Teacher of the Year award from the school?
Well, actually, it's not just from the school; it's from the district.
Well, from the district, yeah.
But I felt very humbled and surprised and excited. Are you writing this down?
Yes, I'm writing it down for the record.
I think I was more excited by the students' reaction because they came into my first period with the banner, and Mr. Burnham and Miss Ivy came in with flowers and candy, and a lot of people.
You didn't share it with anybody. Wow. Why do you think you got it? Why do you think you got the award?
I think that I put a lot of effort into my job. I communicate with families a lot. I do this process called differentiation. So like when we do our RTLs, there are 3 different versions that get pushed out to students so that whatever level you're at, you have the appropriate support.
Yeah, do you think you deserved it, or do you think somebody else should have gotten it?
That's a hard question. I mean, I feel like I work a lot, and I'm happy I got it.
Well,
so I must have deserved it if I got it.
Yeah. I mean, you don't know all the teachers in the district, obviously, so you can't, that's not really a...
Right, but so there was a process for how they chose people. So either families or other teachers were allowed to nominate people. So a bunch of teachers in the district were nominated, and then they chose 30 teachers to come observe. And they actually came to our class, our 7th period, and they were
I saw that.
They were very impressed that a class of 37 students was on task.
Now, what was going through, well, especially since it was our class, not just any other class, what was going through your head when they came in? It was like, oh God, please don't do anything stupid.
Well, I actually didn't know why they were there. They hadn't told me that they were coming. I didn't know at that point that I had been nominated. And so I just saw a group of 3-4 adults coming in with clipboards. But being a young teacher and recently getting my credential, I'm used to being observed. Admin comes a lot and other programs that partner with the district just to make sure that I know what I'm doing. So I just kind of thought it was one of those situations. And it wasn't until after the fact that they were like, by the way, we're here because you were nominated for Teacher of the Year. We'll be in touch. So they observed 30 teachers, and then they chose 8 to interview. So I had to write an essay, and I had to go in for an interview.
Were you secretly hoping inside and stuff like that? But
yeah, obviously, I was excited. It felt, I mean, it's really validating to work really hard and then get noticed for that. Just like if you're working really hard in your class and your teacher gives you a shout out or calls your family and lets you know how well you're doing. Like it's...
So what did this whole thing change anything about your teaching style, or did it alter anything, or what happened?
I think it gave me a little bit more confidence. I feel more confident in my abilities because other people have told me that what I'm doing is, a good job. I think the whole process of having to explain to, people who work for the district and for the union, really made me think about my teaching practice. And so the process of writing the essay, being observed, being interviewed really, made me think about things that I'm doing that are successful in my class and that I should keep doing.
Do students try to test you more because of this, or do you think they feel the same?
I haven't seen really any difference. The only difference I think I saw was in my first period on the day that it was presented. They went crazy. They were like screaming. Some girls had pretend microphones and they were asking me questions like, how does it feel? Where are you going to Disney World? Like,
see, that's my job, not theirs.
I guess you are the interviewer right now.
I am the interviewer, exactly. Taking notes. I mean, that's really all I can think of for some of the questions.
That's pretty good.
Thank you, Evan, for that excellent interview. And thank you to Ms. Shantz for being such a great teacher. And now to Miss Krug and her dog Statler.
Hey everyone, it's Miss Krug from room A202, and I'm here today to show you some of the tricks that this guy Statler can do. Statler, do you like math homework? Do you like the weekly update from Mr. Burnham? Shake. Good. Come on. Pow! All right, pup. Good work today. High five. Statler is a very patient boy. He'll wait for his treat for a long time. Go ahead. Touch. Touch. Yes, touch. Over here. Come on. And this way. Good boy. And this way. Good boy. Over here. Yes. And over here. Yes. And over here. Yes. Good boy. And down. And crawl to me. Yeah. Come on. Take a bow.
Thank you, Miss Krug. I wish my dog could do any trick. And now, updates for the KMS baking contest. All submissions to the baking contest need to be in by May 6th. Snickerdoodles from Aaron. Cupcakes from Macy. Here's a giant cookie from Layla. And Mikey made tiramisu. Please make sure that your submissions for baking contest are done by May 6th. Students in Mr. U's classes were tasked with creating primary source documents. They were asked to create a visual source document that reflected changes in our community and surroundings. The first one was my favorite. The answer to last week's riddle was, of course, school. Thank you to our winners, Sienna L. and Ajit S. Congratulations. And this week's riddle is, which 8-letter word still remains a word after removing each letter? Again, send your submissions to my email, mburnham@wccusd.net. Oh, forgot you were there. What are you reading? I'm reading Born a Crime by Trevor Noah. Mr. Arnold, our librarian, and all of us at KMS and beyond want to know what you're reading. As you can see, I'm reading Trevor Noah's Born a Crime, which is an excellent read. Take a photo of yourself reading, send it to libraries@wccusd.net, or send it to me, or put it on Twitter, or whatever. But what are you reading? If you're in the after-school program and want to access their resources, they created a website, bacronlineafterschool.com, with the password AFTERSCHOOL2020. Go there for the after-school program resources. And coming next week, let's talk about grading, how to get your yearbooks, locker clean out, textbook return, more student work, and celebrating our teachers. Finishing our weekly news is some great creativity from our students. Thank you to Romy and Sam and art students from Miss Alcacer's class for their submissions. And again, everybody, please keep working hard and submit what you can to mburnham@wccusd.net, and I will try to get it on the weekly news. Thank you for the great work, students, and thank you to all the students that participated this week. Please remember to send in your submissions, students. The news feed is much more interesting when we hear from you. Finally, we just want to say thank you, parents and guardians. Thank you for all that you are doing. I know that you're working and you're trying to help the students learn, and we wish we could be with them, but unfortunately we can't. But your support of the learning process is critical, and we thank you so much. So thank you, parents and guardians, for all that you're doing.